said, I quit my job to spend more time with Cory. But he has friends in real life that he didn't quit his job to spend more time with. So MAVATTACK, I have one question. Why did you quit the job for Cory and not your other friends? We just did a sus compilation the other day, and in that sus compilation, my guy here, he was playing a game with Cory where Cory said some sus things. He said he's coming, and they keyed and laughed. And to be honest, it can't be anything bad said about Cory. It's probably just distance, or they could be rekindling clickbait. So I'm nosy. Y'all seen when Cory was beefing. Well, Cory wasn't beefing. When No Avocado Toast was trolling. You know what I'm saying? Y'all seen the video. Go watch it. I have to look into the mess. So we're about to see what's going on in the YouTube streets. One day into my birthday, Clank, a happy early birthday. We will be streaming tomorrow. We doing Reddit tomorrow, I promise. If I don't do Reddit tomorrow, I'll delete my channel.
But a lot of you know of me as MAVATTACK. Now, I'm not typically somebody who makes videos like this or finds a need to make videos like this. I think stuff like this is actually kind of ridiculous, but I felt it was necessary, not just for a lot of people who were stuck in some sort of realm of confusion, didn't know what was going on with our friendship, hadn't seen us create videos together in like 5 years, but still kind of held on to that. This is for those people, and this is for myself also.
Okay.
To tell my truth, get this off of my plate and off of my chest. Like the title of the video says, CoryxKenshin and I are no longer friends. We no longer associate with each other. And a few key reasons why this video is even being made in the first place is, number one, a lot of you guys have found my channel through our collaborations in the past. You have kind of held on to that or stuck around just to wait and see and hope that we're going to work together again. This is for the ones who were actually curious and genuinely wanted to.
We're being trolled. I'm calling it right now. This is a W troll. It's a W troll. They got a collab on the way.
No, even now to this day, I still get comments asking about us, asking about when our next collaboration is. Sometimes when he steps away, asking where he is still, and we're going on like the 6th, 7th year, maybe even longer, where this has persisted and been a thing. But to provide clarity after such a long period of confusion, I got to go back to the beginning. Now, Cory and I met each other back in 2014. We were both on a podcast, and we ended up being mutuals. And, you know, we hung out a little bit, played some games here and there, found a mutual enjoyment. Like, we really connected with each other. We really, you know, enjoyed each other's company, which was really cool. And that's pretty much around the time I had found his channel, Five Nights at Freddy's, some of his RPG horror game playthroughs. We decided to collaborate a little bit. We wanted to, you know, potentially record together, make some content together, whatever. Now, when you're working with people, or friends, and you're in the same realm, kind of like working around each other, doing the same things, of course, you're going to bounce ideas off of each other. You're going to be inspired by some of your, you know, fellow coworkers, your friends, things like that. And after time, there were just a lot of similarities in some of the stuff that we were producing. I remember, in fact, you know, even...
He better not. He better not.
And up to this day, getting comments telling me to quit copying him, like just stop trying to be him.
All right, listen, let me tell y'all something. As a creator, if you're creating stuff and you're working with somebody and y'all stuff kind of look the same, y'all know it's because y'all was chatting. This is why you cannot let people in the comment section affect you, because they don't know. They just talking. You just got to let them talk. But I'm gonna let him expound.
And so that was one form of comment from that audience base that kind of stuck with me and kind of messed with me over time. But Cory, obviously, as you guys know, was rising and his stuff was going, and it was really dope to see him working and grinding behind the scenes to make that stuff possible and not lose the momentum that he was gaining from everything that he was doing, which was dope. While I was working on my own stuff, trying to just figure out what my niche was, what direction I wanted to take things, I was less in the gameplay realm and more so reviewing, doing news, some gameplays here and there, but for the most part, it was more analytical stuff. Throughout his growth and work, you know, there were times where he would have to step away, whether it was for mental health or just because that's how he is. He needs to pull back and kind of like give himself some time to breathe, which is completely understandable. That's the type of person that he is. But during those times, there would be repercussions and backlash from working together, being colleagues, where not just myself, but other people who would work with him, we would all see a wave, an influx of people who would come and bombard our comment sections, our DMs, our mentions, all of it. Non-stop asking where he's at, when's he gonna be back. And initially it was okay, you know, it wasn't like it was a big deal, but as the climb grew and grew and grew, because he is one of the biggest YouTubers on this platform, eventually it started to become a little bit out of control, a little bit hard to manage. And for me, eventually...
Listen, this is not your... Okay, listen, MAVATTACK, I think your name, you know what I'm saying? It's not your job. All right. I don't work with mad creators and things happen. They don't upload. They don't stream. People be like, Holla, where they at? That's none of my business. All right. It's none of my business. It's none of my business. You know what I'm saying? That's how you have to treat it. Listen, y'all go ask them. You open the DM, you close the DM, and you go about your day. And the wise words of a philosopher once said, internet bullying does not exist when you can close your laptop. I think it was like Tyler the Creator or something like that.
It got to the point where it was messing not only with my mental health, but with my business. To log on to YouTube or Twitter or wherever to upload content that you feel really passionate about, like really feeling good about a lot of this stuff, to get in there and to see more comments asking about somebody else than your own work, it starts to affect you. Now, when you're in the mindset of kind of like taking other people's words and opinions or just their feedback into consideration instead of valuing your own and holding your own thoughts about your own work in really high value, it's hard not to take the opinions and thoughts of other people into consideration when you're talking about value. Because, you know, a lot of people take that materialistic stuff and kind of look at that as if like that's a measure of their worth, or if that's a calculation of their value, which is completely false. I had to learn that over time, that all that really mattered was how I felt about what I was producing, putting out, or the growth that I was making, or whatever it was. But to have that non-stop, it took a toll. And this is, you know, 5, 6, 7, could be more than that. I don't know how many years at this point, but it still persists. And like I said, we haven't really been close for quite some time. So between that sort of back and forth and me being afraid to express myself, because I had always thought that, you know, maybe there was a little bit too much inspiration taken from my own works, doing, you know, skits before, like gameplays and stuff, doing live action stuff, incorporated with gameplays to sort of evolve them to make them less of a just here, I'm sitting here playing a video game, to more just like, hey, let's make this live, interactive, let's do some things. You know, I had just graduated from film school, so I really wanted to put my knowledge into practice, but I couldn't help but feel like part of that was being taken. And part of my problem was not expressing that and not being a good friend to say, hey man, I feel like, you know, you can be inspired by somebody and you could definitely want to do what somebody else is doing, but it felt a little more blatant. It felt a little more, this is kind of like my livelihood. Like, this is what I enjoy doing as far as like evolving.
Listen, hey man, in this world, what is for you is for you. Nobody can take that from you. All right. Like, if other people, listen, you can't, what do they say? Can't copy respect. Shout out the URL. Okay. You know, those people, if they chose that, like, I don't see a problem with finding inspiration in everybody else's work. Doing gameplay, nobody was the first to do that. Sit down and play a game and edit it and put it on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Skits before, that's interesting. You know what I'm saying? Let me take that, you know what I'm saying? Mix it, put a little sprinkle on it, make it my own. All right? I don't see that's a problem. And like, nobody can make your content better than you for what's for you. So, you know,
some of the stuff that other YouTubers or
Dub Rose was
or whatever
good.
were doing at the time with gameplay is
welcome
I felt
to the
really
chat.
good
You know
about
what I'm
that,
saying?
and I started to notice it trickle more and more in, and I didn't express that at the time, which was a fault of mine. 100%, I could admit to that. But throughout,
but like, what are you gonna do? Tell your friend like, hey, I see you doing skits at the beginning of your video. Can you stop doing that because people are watching you more than me, and I feel like I put you on? Is that what you're gonna, as a friend, you should want to give your friends the knowledge they need to grow as big as possible, right? It could be me. I could be tweaking, but y'all let me know.
Time, you know, some of those lingering feelings about that, and definitely the taking breaks and the massive influx of where is he, where did he go, do you know where he is, when are you gonna work again?
Nimbo, what's good?
It broke me down. It broke me down in a big way because I didn't feel like I was able to benefit off what I was creating. I felt like somebody else was benefiting off of what I was doing. And not only that, I felt like I was being stepped on or overshadowed by this person. And because of that, I didn't make the best choices. I didn't make the best decisions as a friend. There was never...
Yeah, this isn't a troll. Obviously, this video is not a troll. It is real, ladies and gentlemen. But I don't get it. Like, I would never look at a creator that I look at as a friend and say, yo, you're getting bigger than me at something I feel like I did. You will get as big as you are meant to get at the end of the day. And that's it, right? And no, that influx, say he never started doing the skits. You may have had less people than you thought you would have had. You know what I'm saying? You can't credit it one way or the other, but hey.
Any point in time of us being friends that I ever took his success into consideration as far as our friendship had went. I don't care about what he's accumulated. I didn't care about any of the money that he had gained from what he had accumulated. I cared about none of that. And I know there's a lot of people that care about that stuff because this world, unfortunately, is fueled by that. Too many people care about materialistic things, and that's unfortunate because that's the way the society is. That's the way that it's been constructed, is to care about money and to care about possessions. And I've never been a person...
And care about views? Would you add that? Hey, man, I'm just watching the video, okay? I'm just watching the video.
I care about that. I've cared about connections. I've cared about goodwill.
Victoria was good.
And positive, good energy and good people. And Cory is a good person.
Facts.
And I don't ever think he intended for things to get this bad for his friends. And so I...
What? No. Chat, there is no way. There is no way. There is no way.
I didn't make the best decisions. I didn't defend him when people were talking crap on his name, partially because I had felt that there was a piece of it that was actually true, but also because I was scared and I was far...
Hold up.
And so I didn't make the best decisions. I didn't
Ashley, how are you doing today, man? Do you hear this?
Defend him when people were talking crap on his name, partially because...
Hold up, I gotta back up a little bit more. There's no way I just heard what I think I just heard.
And I don't ever think he intended for things to get this bad for his friends.
If you being successful hurts your friends, let's just get back to the video.
And so I didn't make the best decisions. I didn't defend him when people were talking crap on his name, partially because I had felt that there was a piece of it that was actually true, but also because I was scared and I was far, far away from how I am now. How I'm not afraid to express myself and speak my truth.
It might be a troll, though. It might be a troll.
Wrong. And I felt horrible for doing that as a friend, to not
They're
speak
in the
up
wrong?
for my friend. But I also allowed my frustrations from everything that had led up to this point to seep into conversations with other people, nasty people who went and spouted that on the internet, that went and told things that...
See, look, I don't care how I feel about my friends. I'm not going to other people and talking about that. Who's really the... You know what, man?
We're told in private to public forums and told people about some of the things I was frustrated about. So because of that, I felt guilt. And
But this is why you just talk to your friend. If you have a problem with your friend, you talk to them. And if you don't want to address that with them, you don't talk to anybody. You know what I'm saying?
I held guilt with me till one day I decided to mention it to him and come clean and apologize.
Yo, what? Hold on. Listen, we got the Cory merch. Hey, I told y'all, bruh, I will not be out hoochie this summer, okay? These aren't my most hoochie shorts, you know what I'm saying? But Crown Neptune in the building, what's good? It's been a minute. You know what I'm saying? People were asking, where Crown Neptune been? Welcome back to the chat. Hey, man. I was going to show the shorts off, but not today, all right? Not today. Knees a little ashy. I might do that later. With the 50 bomb dono. What? Listen, chat. What are we doing, man? What are we doing?
Apologize for holding some of that stuff against him and telling certain things to the wrong people, all being frustrated.
Hey, somebody go get Devin. Devin been the dono champion for the past week. Crown up to them.
Frustrated because you can't put out a 5-second tweet to let everybody know that you're okay, instead of letting everybody come pester your friends when it would literally take that much time to do it. And then I have to log on to my, video.
You're not ashy? Look at my bro. Look. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're not ashy, but they not the, you know what I'm saying? We not peak moisturized.
Networks and see that they're playing video games, so you value playing video games more than giving your friends a little bit of freedom, a little bit of space. And I know in his...
But MAVATTACK, let me tell you something. Even if Cory put out a tweet to say I'm okay, people still gonna ask. That's the nature of the internet. Like, it don't matter what you do, the internet is gonna internet. And if you understand that, you won't put that pressure on your friends to do certain things. But, you know what I'm saying? That shirt crispy, though? Hey man.
Mind, just saying things would have not alleviated that to the point where it would have made us feel a little bit better. But
Holla thick.
So the frustration with that,
hey, let's stop it
and
right
just
now.
Everything else had boiled up to me.
Hey, twin running out while
expressing
they're
myself
gone.
to
That's
people
what's
I
up.
shouldn't have
Yes,
been
sir.
expressing myself to. So I apologize for that. And he accepted my apology, and we moved on. We moved forward. I did my best to continue to reach out, want to play some games here and there. Just getting back on track. That was my whole point, was clean slate. I want to get back on track. Let's move on from this. But I felt radio silence for a while, and it felt as if things were not the same. And if you have a feeling, deep down inside of you, like, trust in that, believe in that. Because more often than not, that gut feeling is probably because it's true. The reason you feel so strongly is because it's true. And then going back to my texts and just seeing like 6, 7 unanswered texts and not realizing it until finally it was time to say, like, what?
Yo, I'm not double texting nobody. Yes.
Like, this all feels different. Something about this has changed, and you can feel the atmosphere of the friendship change. And it was hard not to jump to conclusions like this, like our friendship is actually over, because people were messaging me.
What is
over on
mean?
Social media, like, hey, did you know he took you out of his friends tab on YouTube? And I think that is so stupid. Top friends lists and all this stuff that value where your friendships. I think that is the dumbest stuff. I definitely looked, and these were some of like the first signs.
But look, you put him using things that y'all talked about as a value of your friendship, his responsiveness as a value of your friendship, and all of these other things. None of these are values of friendship, though. A value of friendship is the relationship that y'all build. I have friends that I may see, a couple times a month. I got friends that I won't see for years. And when I see them, it is what it is. You have to know that relationship. I got friends who I could text and they won't respond until because they have things going on. That's part of friendship, understanding. Okay, you got something going on. That don't make you less of my friend. You just doing something. That's it.
That I guess subconsciously told me that our friendship was over, but I didn't want to believe it. I just believed that, hey, maybe he did that because, I did take a 2-year break. I got rid of like everybody I purged my account, so there was no personal grudge or anything against anybody. I was just done. I had
hey, Crown Neptune, I've been dropping facts this whole video.
I have to get my life together if I'm going to return back to this, and I put the final stamp on it, but I didn't know that I was going to come back to this. And what I came back to was a lot of unhealed wounds, a lot of opened up stuff that unfortunately not only me had to deal with, but I continued to be me and do my best to just be there, keep up contact, because I'm difficult when it comes to that. A lot of my closer friends know, well, the few closer friends I do have, they understand that sometimes you're in your grind, sometimes you're in your flow, you're doing your thing, but this didn't feel like a doing your thing in your flow sort of thing. It felt personal. And
that's the thing about content creators, bro. I be trying to tell content creators, some of us were cool. Some of them I would consider friends. But most of the people that be running around friend this, buddy that, y'all are coworkers that enjoy each other's time. And that's it. So you can't look at everybody like they're a friend in content creation, because it's just not. There is a threshold for true friendship. People be using that friend word way too loosely. I feel like this is one of them cases, and he put expectations on somebody who y'all was just cool. You know what I'm saying?
Because so much has changed for me, I wasn't going to take the disrespect anymore. I will not take the disrespect anymore.
He's trolling, chat. He's trolling.
So I sent one final text letting him know, like, I don't care, man, about anything that you've accumulated. This had only been about our connection because I felt strongly about this person. I have struggled with friends and being social most of my life. It's been very difficult for me. So to have people that you connect with on that level, they don't feel like just baseless connections and friendships, which a lot of those came from knowing him.
On what level, though? On what level? That's the thing. People meet each other. They have a couple conversations. They talk about content. You know what I'm saying? They talk about their future and stuff like that, and they think they friends. Like, what did y'all go through? You know what I'm saying? Friendship. Oh my. This is pissing me off. This video is pissing me off.
A lot of people that wanted to weasel their way in came from knowing him. And it was so hard to make a distinction between who was genuine, who was a good person, and who was hateful, envious, who wanted to use and utilize
You said this
anything
sounds
that they
scripted
feel
and
like they
forced?
could. And that was hard.
Hey,
this
man.
wasn't about any of that, man. So I let him know I'm done. I'm good. He replied in the way that he felt like he needed to, and then that was that. But basically, this was my decision. This wasn't because of finances. This wasn't because of any of that stuff. This was a clear line.
Bro, look, if I have friends and they're doing something and they're busy and they don't respond, until I sit down and have a conversation with you, I'm not distinguishing whether our friendship is over or not. When we sit down and talk, if I never see you again, you will leave Earth as my friend. Now, if we sit down and talk and you tell me some other stuff and I'll be like, oh, you was out here wilding. Or I hear you saying certain things, I might be like, hey, yo, this is what I heard. Is this true? But other than that, like...
I've been crossed. I tried my absolute best to apologize, to make up for it, and that wasn't accepted with open arms, and instead, I had a grudge held against me, and I wasn't going to take the disrespect. Look, Cory did a lot.
He's trolling. Cory's going to pop up at the end of this video. He's trolling. He's trolling.
For me, and I'll forever be grateful. He brought in a large influx of people, new eyes, a new audience that could potentially help boost our stuff and just support what we had going on.
So why didn't he give that credit? It was, he stepped on me earlier, but now it's, he brought me new people. Which one is it? That's why you don't make these determining factors
on, and there was a lot of financial help that he did in doing that, and just outside of that he did a lot, and I never had to ask. He did that on his own free will. There were times we'd be hanging out and he would cover things, just jump the gun and do it, and I'd be ready to pay and he would just jump like that's the type of person that he is. So it's never about money. I quit a job I had to spend more time with him. This was
chat. Cory had a yonder. That's how. Listen, yo, son. I quit a job not to focus on my goals, to spend more time with you. He's trolling. He has to be trolling.
It's never about any of his materialistic shit. This wasn't because he wasn't financially benefiting.
Hold up, but if you had real friends in your real life, but you quit work to hang out with Cory, I just want to know the reason why. What is the reason you quit your job to hang out with Cory and not quit your job to hang out with your real friends that you grew up with? Sound like there was some motive there, big fella. That's all I'm saying. Okay. I'm just a bystander, spectating from the sidelines.
Me anymore. This wasn't because I couldn't collaborate with him anymore. I don't care about any of that stuff. So that's why I felt it were important to finally put this out there, not just for all of you guys who've been very confused and who might actually be, emotionally a little choked up from this. I understand, ending things always sucks, but what's important for evolution is to close doors on things that no longer serve you or are no longer in your health.
Serve you? Chat, y'all just listen. People talk, just listen. All right, listen.
Best interest, because it's really important to take care of your health, whether it be mental, physical, spiritual, whatever it is. I felt this were important for the people who actually watch and support what we have going on over here, who were just kind of sitting around waiting for that next thing. Unfortunately, I'm here to tell you it's not going to be happening. And this was for me. This was for me to finally
new
close
videos
the
a
book
re-upload
on that chapter, to finally gain some clarity and peace. Now, if anybody comes and asks, obviously I can't stop millions of people to continue trickling in to ask questions. I can't stop that. But what I can do is hopefully direct them here to this video to help them understand. So now we can put in.
I don't understand nothing from this video. I don't get what the gripe is. I met somebody online who created content. We linked. We did some of the same things. Some of my ideas, some of his ideas. We both cross-platform. He blew up. I didn't blow up like I thought I should. I felt like, he blew up because of the things that I was doing, and I'm upset about that, and he went off and didn't talk to me anymore. Is that the
an end to it. There is no more confusion. You can either unsubscribe, unfollow, and dip and go and leave and goodbye. take care.
All right, Reaper,
Or
let me
you
know
can
in the,
accept
let me
it
know,
and
let me
say,
know. Break it
okay,
down
like
for me.
I'm ready to be here to see what's going on for your new chapter, because a lot of things have changed. If you look around the channel, a lot has evolved. Not only myself as a person, but the character that we've created. So a lot of things change. People change. Seasons change. It would be stupid of me to not embrace the things that need to be changed. And it's uncomfortable, and it makes you feel sick, and it makes you feel anxious, and it makes you feel scared. I've come to realize that all of that stuff just means you're on your way to progress, and life without progress is just boring. Support me or not, but I'm going to continue doing what I love to do with the people who love to see it, and I won't allow road bumps to get in the way of my progress and my path forward. This wasn't an impulsive video. This took some time, some thought. I really had to sit in silence for days and make sure that this was the right thing to do, and it had to be done. And I'll always be thankful.
He's trolling. He's trolling. I don't care. I don't care or know it. There's nothing you could tell me right now. There's nothing.
I'm appreciative of the time, the people that I met, just all of it, man. The places I got to visit, the things I got to experience. I mean, if I could turn back the hands of time, I wouldn't change a damn thing. Why would you want to? I found that there's things that I can do in my reality. If I don't like it, I can change it. It doesn't matter what it is. If there are things I'm not enjoying, there are things that are not bringing me happiness, that aren't bringing positive energy and spreading that, helping to spread that through the world, then I can change it. I don't want any part of.
So is he saying Corey's not positive? Chat, listen to what he said.
There are things I'm not enjoying. There are things that are not bringing me happiness, that aren't bringing positive energy and spreading that.
Oh, he's not bringing positive. Okay, he's not saying him particularly. All right. So Reaper gave us the rundown. Let's read this. All right. So what I'm getting at is his channel was raided by Samurai, who only cared about his whereabouts instead of MAVATTACK himself. So he basically overshadowed, I guess, IDK Man. I get that. But that's because your friend became more successful. You know how many people talk to Rich Paul, LeBron James' childhood best friend, and talk to him only about LeBron James? But if LeBron James is really your friend, like, you don't really care? Oh, is LeBron James leaving Cleveland to go to Miami? Is he leaving Cleveland to go to the Lakers? They're probably all asking Rich Paul these things. And Rich Paul is like, bro, I'm my own person. But you don't take that and say, me and this person aren't friends no more. Bruh, people come in this chat and ask me about people all the time. Either I'm going to answer or I'm not going to answer. And I'm going to keep it moving. Like, that's it.
Helping to spread that through the world, then I can change it. I don't want any part of anything that deviates from the path that I feel like I'm on. And thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your understanding. I know it's not what you're going to want to hear, but it's just the reality of things. I couldn't do it anymore, man. I had to establish boundaries, and these are my
boundary. I'm about to do it. I'm about to do it. I'm going back to the lobby after this. It's no way.
My boundaries. So much love and respect to everybody that's watched this. I in no way, shape, or form mean any disrespect or any. This is not to defame. I mean no ill will towards Corey at all. He's a good person, and we need.
But why make the video? Like, me personally, if there was a YouTuber that I didn't want to associate with no more, I'm not making no video. I'm gonna keep it moving. Eventually the stuff will leave the chat and you move on.
A lot more good people in this world, especially going forward. I can only hope.
Yeah, if the person is your friend, you shouldn't feel like it's a slight. Exactly.
Hope that this helps the people who watch it sort of face the things that they've been avoiding, or to not be afraid of taking that step towards the uncomfortable, of the dumb things.
Exactly. Corey surpassed Dashy. They don't collab all the time. They did like the query, but that's it. They mention each other every now and then. I don't know but they may actually have a real friendship. That's why people got to stop judging like, oh, I see you hanging with such and such. I see you with them. Why don't you do that with me? That's not y'all's relationship. Oh my God. Why did I watch this video first? I don't even want to stream after this.
We have to put up with in life, whether it's from ourselves or from other people. And I really hope that this resonates with Corey in one way or another. And, I wish the absolute best. I truly do. Thank you all for watching.
Bro,
hello,
listen, hey, make sure y'all click on that video that popped up there. Listen, bro, look, I will never address one day, I'm gonna save my story for a bigger platform. Okay. And, people will have to answer for their sins, okay? But I'm not making no vid about it. I'll give the story to somebody else. I don't want the story, me personally. I may never address things that have happened on YouTube, but this, my friends becoming more. I've had people say, like, I've had a YouTuber say, I don't want you using this person to help you with your videos because that's going to take away from my videos. I've had YouTubers say that. Verbatim. I'm not going to come to the internet and be like, hey, well, I just take it, note it, and you know how to move after that. And that's it. But fam right here, I have no clue what he is talking about. I don't get the gripe. I see no valid reasoning. This was, hey, I was with you. You blew up. You got all this stuff. And I'm kind of upset that you got it. All right. And we should have been more friends. He said, I quit my job to spend more time with Cory. But he has friends in real life that he didn't quit his job to spend more time with. So MAVATTACK, I have one question. Why did you quit the job for Cory and not your other friends? That's it. That's my only question. All right. And when you get to the root of that question, you will get why this video gotta be a troll. All right. It's gotta be. Facts.